Hey everybody, welcome to Crypto Trading and Investing, and this is how to make money online, the ultimate trading guide for 2020, 2021, and whatever in the future. Look at this stuff going on. Let's put that stuff away right there with some of the things that we can be using. But yeah, so look, this is the pure naked chart, what I use most of the time. We put Ichimoku Cloud and all this other stuff for some of the students and whatever else that the people do want. But for me personally, I can look at it naked with some drawings and stuff on there, obviously. But here we go. How do you make money online? Are you one of those people where it feels like you just went long somewhere here and like almost immediately it just dumped against you? You thought it was going to keep going up. You see all of this was green. Now it flipped red because it's a new UTC 0 day. We're 31 minutes into it. You were like, yeah, it's going to happen. Or you thought it was going to keep going down and then it went pushed up, liquidated you out of your position or hit your stop loss, and it just keeps hitting stop after stop after stop. It's not like you're getting liquidated, but you keep getting stopped. So here's how to make money online in the cryptocurrency market. It's more than just trading. It's more than just investing. We got all types of things that we can make money online with the cryptocurrency market. And here are just a few. Okay, we got all of these cryptos. We got all of these things going on. And it looks like, really, to be honest, they're dumping. So let's take a look at some of the things that we can do. One of the ways, number one, obviously, not the quickest because not financial advice. I got to say that this is a financial market. I don't know how some people get away without saying it, but look, I don't want the SEC to be blowing down the house, okay? Not financial advice. Still do your own research and everything like that. But if you feel like you are one of those people that are just getting yourself wrecked and wrecked and wrecked. And when I mean wrecked, I mean you put the money in and you don't have the ability to trade for some months or a year or more. It just like knocks you out, right? You blew up your account. Or what about though you blew up your account where you lost all the money in your account, but you put more in there? Or like a gentleman where he said he was just so gun-ho over holding stocks. Let's go to stocks for a second. That he felt bad. He did not want to sell with the other people. He wanted to hold on to those stocks. Who knows what company, because they could have gone out of business. Because he said it would be contributing to the market. Where we had to reality check the guy and say, like 80% plus of these stocks are the stock market is controlled by just a handful of people, the top 10%, and really the top 1% are controlling the majority of that. I think it's like 40 or 50% of that. So yeah, really his contribution is not that much. It would be better that he would not lose 20 years. This is what the guy said. And if I can find that screenshot, I will share it with you guys. It just kind of made my head go, what the heck? 20 years of his savings got blown by holding on to those stocks. Now, some people could argue, yeah, the stock market rally is because of various reasons, the Federal Reserve and stuff with their money printing and whatnot. But that's a different topic. I just want to let you guys know there are all types of stories that I get all the time. If you guys got some, share it with us. I'll be talking about the WTF moments there. But this is how to make money online. So we can make money online by trading. There are different types of trading. We can do margin trading, which is a modest amount based on the amount of money that you have in your account. So it increases. For example, on certain sites, if you only have less than 2,000, you can't go over 5x. So some of you guys are saying, what the heck is 5x? Well, it means it's going to multiply the buying power of your trade. For example, let's say you had $1,000. It will multiply that and give you 4,000 extra. So you have the buying power of 5,000. And so that means when something goes up only 20%, well, 20 times 5 is 100. That means you would have doubled or 100% profit on your initial trade. But if it goes against you, that means you can lose it faster. So that's what leverage is. And so margin is based on the amount of capital in your account. Now, it's a little bit different with different margin platforms, generally speaking. Then you have derivatives markets where you can go. Let me go to my this other one because I like to see some of the drawings that I made here so we can see what I actually indicated here and what we're looking at for like things I've done. So you can see in real on the screen what I've put here, where we're talking about these areas as what some people call resistance points. I'm just saying this is a supply area. And once it breaks over 10 cents, it's pretty much like free pumping from there. Obviously, there's going to be areas where it consolidates at, but essentially, most of the people, from what I saw from volume wise, have bought in between about 8 cents and 10 cents. And obviously, I'm looking at other types of research too. So you got to know what you're looking at. This pattern right here typically breaks down, but it broke to the upside. So we have to be prepared for what these things are. This typically breaks down. And what did it do? Oh, actually, this wasn't a different pattern, a rising channel. So how do you make money? Well, one of the ways is with trading. If you use derivatives, it's the same thing, except it's not based on the amount. If you have less than 2,000 in margin, you're limited to 3x on some platforms. Other platforms are a little bit different. They automatically give you that to you, whatever. But if you have 2,000 or above, you get 5x. If you have 10,000 and above, you get 10x. And if you trade well, they increase you to 15x and more. You get what I'm saying? But in derivatives, it doesn't matter. Whatever the leverage, the maximum leverage, they allow you to do it. Now, certain platforms like Binance, they limit the multiplier size. Like if whatever it multiplies to, so if the price goes up and it says it's a risk of 5,000 max, well, they got me into trouble before because I went short and long on a position on a test trial to hedge, and it like maxed me out where I could not go long again because the price kept going up, and I just had to close out a short and everything. It was crazy, and that was on Chainlink. So I was going short and long at the same time as an experimental one with a very tiny account. And yeah, but with derivatives, if it's 100x leverage, remember the same thing. It gives you the buying power of 100 times more than whatever it is. If you got $1,000, it will give you the buying power of $100,000. So that means 1% move up, double. 1% move down, you have lost 100% of your trade. So that means you can instead, if you were going to use $1,000, you can instead use 10 and get the same profit in that same amount, but you're just using a smaller amount. Now, if you want to beat the profit of your 1,000, then you have to use something over 10. You get what I'm saying? Or else it should just be no leverage, same 1,000. That's how we do these things. So how do you make money with that? Well, you have to look at what the market is telling you. This is the daily chart. That means you use lower leverage with these types of things. You're looking at this saying, hey, okay, these things are accumulating. They're making these certain patterns that I'll talk about in more detail. It's actually in my trading Discord school and investing school. Some people, I think, may not learn how to do trading. Some people don't have realistic expectations and think, bam, it's overnight thing, right? Some people, they do pick up really well, and then you hear about them, and then boom, they blew their money. So instead, let's look at it this way. If you aren't good at trading, maybe you're the investor type that can see that this thing is accumulating, but maybe you aren't. Let's go back to the trading part, or the investing part. Maybe you aren't the best person for getting these. And see, while I don't generally dollar cost average when things are going up or anything or something like that, I just kind of wait until things seem like they're trending, and then I sell when it starts to go down. That's mine. It's more like I swing trade versus just invest. But some people invest where they'll buy this entire area, buy, and keep buying until it gets to a certain point. Then they let it fly, and they may even buy there too, because they're just buying and buying and buying until it gets to a point where they're like, hey, look, this thing is going up here. I'm finally selling, new all-time high. Let me wait for it to cool down and start to dump like where it did over here. And then you start to sell off, right? That's a different strategy of how you can do this in 2020, because some of these assets, I'm telling you, some of these assets, they have the ability, and I talked about it in my Discord just today. one of these assets. Now the price has changed, has increased, so the multiplier is a little bit lower. But at the time of the calculation, I calculated that it had the ability to go up 174 times. Let's take out this calculator. You can see all of these things here. Let's get these off the screen. 174 times. That was a calculation for other crypto assets that I'm also working on, because I would like to give people my opinion of what I would be holding if it were to go up 10, 30, 20, 100 times, 500 times, right? So here's 174 times. Let's say you only got $300 to put into this, because you're putting 300 somewhere else, 300, 300, 300. Let's see what that would look like. That's $52,000 just by holding the asset. If you want to know what that is, look at the description below. Email me at ctai@protonmail.com, and it's only $60 per month to join the Discord. Once again, $60 per month to join the Discord. Now, if you come in as a referral for somebody else, we may be able to discount you a bit. So if you come in and then you're like, hey, friends, hey, we're going to split this, whatever difference or something. I don't know how you guys would do that, but that discount, if you are referred to the group, you get a slight discount, not too much of a difference in price, but it is $60 per month. And with that, you get that type of knowledge that I'm releasing, at least 2 of them per month from my perspective. And obviously, I think I'm accelerating more because these prices are really exploding. But the difference between 100 times, just getting 100 times your money, that's a lot, right? So to the next part, let's go back to trading. If you're good at trading and getting some of these, and you're trading on some news, like right here, Cardano announced that it was going to finally, and it had dates, release dates for Shelly. You could say, hey, you know what? I'm not good with that high leverage 50x, 75x on Cardano. Let me put in 5x trade. A 5x trade somewhere when you heard the news and you say, hey, my target is just 10 cents. I think it's going to get to 10 cents. I'll take all of my position out, or I'll take 50%. That's 81 times 5, okay? Let's take 80 times 5. So here's 80% times 5. That will give you a 400% profit. What that means is 100% means times 2, 200% means times 3, although it's a 1x, 2x, 3x, as in the additional of 1. This is times, multiply it by 5, okay? So let's say that you had the same 300 times 5. You made $1,500 in a period of May 28th, and it hit first here actually on July 3rd. So just over a month, because that was basically June that you had to wait in a couple days and an extra week, a month. And so 5 weeks to make $1,500 extra dollars. Now that's nice, isn't it? And then of course it continued. And obviously this would have been another 50% more if it goes up to this point, which then means, 600% instead. But the hardest thing here is to be able to hold these things in real time, where you could see your profit here and like, wow, I just doubled my money. Let me take it now, or whatever. Oh, it looks like it's going to drop. Do I just close my position? Versus being able to have the mental fortitude to say, hey, look, I entered right here. My stop loss is going to be right here, but I got 5x, so I'm going to give it some wiggle room and lose up to about 20% of my position, maybe 30%. Or I can get 5 times my multiplier. So that's what we have to do. And I teach that in there. Another way that we can earn it is, let me look at one that allows this. Oh yeah, Cardano is about to have staking. That's what this is, ADA. Let's go to VeChain. VeChain. Look, I remember I mentioned this. I said, hey, look, it breaks this spot. It explodes. What did it do? It exploded. These are things that we just have to look at and know. So it touches here. This is roughly the same. So it's a retest of this and this area right here. Obviously, that makes sense. Where it starts to go down, will it go up? Hey, we talk about that in the group. I believe that it is going to go up, and it's going to wind up going here. And when I look at this, it kind of looks like one of those bark patterns, right? Except many people don't realize that they can inverse the chart on TradingView. That's the neat feature that you can do. Uh, so this is another thing that we can do. We can look, if you're saying, hey, should I, okay, this thing just dumped here. I'm the investor type. Boom, buy all of this stuff up. And then we know that, hey, there's a come a point where if it can, and on the fourth time, it actually did it. The fourth time here, that was one, this is two, this is three. And then it came here, a fourth time kind of stalled on this day, not really at all. Just for a few hours. That's why I drew this out for maybe 1 or 2 hours. Boom, it exploded. And then at that point, it was ballistic. It is not a way, there was no turning back. And so that's one. So anyway, staking. Staking means you are, instead of doing the proof of work thing like Bitcoin, where you run a computer and then it secures the network through its algorithm. It's some complicated jargon. Some of you guys here may not even know what the heck cryptocurrencies are. So I don't want to overwhelm you. That's why I'm talking about kind of more surface level things. And we walk you through as a beginner in the Discord. Remember, it's CTAI@protonmail.com, only $60 a month. So with that being said, let me turn off the shill mode right here, right? So if you are coming in and you're looking at this and say, hey, what do you think is a good here? And I'll say, in my opinion, here, you still got to do your own research because we don't want to be dependent upon anybody 100%. You just don't want to do that, especially somebody you don't know on the internet, okay? With that being said, staking means you get paid to hold. It's kind of like giving out dividends. Think of it as a stock, but it's not. These aren't stocks. Don't be confused by the difference here. But it's like being paid a dividend to hold a cryptocurrency. So if you're getting rewarded for holding cryptocurrencies, okay? That's what I want to point out. So with that being said, okay, just one more time, you're getting paid to hold the cryptocurrency. So while this thing is going up in value or it's going down, you get paid in this case with VeChain, you get paid in something called VeChain Thor, another cryptocurrency that pays for the transaction fees when you send VeChain. And now they recently listed that on Binance. And that's complicated stuff. For you beginners, you don't have to worry about that. Now, another way, so once again, you get paid to hold it. Another way to do it is savings, quote unquote savings. What happens in a bank, right? And I just had this in my last video, which I'm trying to stay on just the TradingView one, because some people actually like looking at these charts and some of the zigzag that goes through. So let's just have this going in the background, right? It's kind of like a podcast here. With that being said, if you know that you're looking at the banks, right? And I kind of lost my thought. I got distracted. I'm actually in a trade right now. And so I had to manage that trade and I exit out of the trade. Sorry about that, guys. So with that being said, with the banking system, if you give them $1,000, they can do something called fractional reserve lending. How you are getting paid in a savings account is because the bank makes money by lending out the cash that you gave them. Or they, in some cases, they invest because they have combined into investment. They do risky things. Government bails them out through the bank, the central bank, which is a private bank, just like those banks, and they pay out dividends of 6%. That's what they say every year. They pay them out 6%. Who are they? We can't find out because they said it's private. Okay, it's a private company. It's not the government. With that being said, how the traditional bank does it is that you give them $1,000 and they multiply by 10 on average. Some banks do less, some banks do more, but they multiply by 10 out of thin air. Thin air. Wow, right? You do that, it's called counterfeiting. But they do it, it's legal somehow. Okay? And then they send out a loan. Not only did they multiply by 10, they just got 10 extra. That's why they don't want everybody to come in and take their cash out the bank all at once. It's called something called a bank run, because banks do not have the cash to pay everybody at once. So with that being said, in crypto, there is no create more crypto out of thin air. The only way to do these things, I guess, would be staking, and you get paid in rewards and stuff like that, like a dividend, but not necessarily a dividend, because then that will make it a security, but it's not. At least how it's being defined now. That I'm not the legal guy, so I'm not the tax, legal, financial advice guy. No, I'm here about how to make money online. So if that's what you want to know and the education behind that, join us in that Discord, because we got you. So with crypto, if you have $1,000 in VeChain, for example, or you have $1,000 in US dollars, right? And US dollar tether. That's the crypto version of the US dollar, supposedly backed. It's not backed 1-to-1 anymore. It's a whole bunch of complicated mess. So for you guys that don't know it and not into crypto, for all intents and purposes, overly simplifying, the US dollar version, US dollar tether, Binance US dollar, and all these other things, Paxos is US dollar coin. There's so many dollar versions, or they got the digital rupee and stuff like that. If you are holding those, you know that you can right now, at least on Binance, other sites may do something different, get paid 1.4% all the way up to, I think, 8%. And I did that video yesterday. So if you want to watch it, go to the previous video from now, if you are watching this on a July 25th of 2020. But if not, then you may not know what the previous video is. So that's crazy, isn't it? What bank is even paying you 0.5% right now to hold your dollars in it, or hold your other fiat? None. Even the most generous, from what I looked up, did not get over 0.021%. Now, maybe my research wasn't good enough. I think some years ago there was 0.22, but that's less than 0.25%. You're not even getting 1%. Wow. So this is actually doing so much better. Talk about multipliers in the crypto market. So just holding those crypto versions of the dollar, you're getting paid large amounts because they're lending them out. That's what the margin trading is lending them out. Derivative trading, that's more like paper trading, that you still get darn, I'm losing the word for it, that you still get charged an interest rate, and that's a different thing. But margin is literally borrowing what's already there from somebody else's account, right? Or the exchange in this place. And if you're saving, you get incentivized to save, because they're making a lot more. They're going to make a lot more than whatever they're paying you, obviously, because they got fees, exchange fees, and everything like that. But you get paid 8% if you lock it in like a certain amount of time. That's crazy. Mind blown. Other cryptocurrencies like VeChain, they already offer you staking. So that means you could actually be making more than that. And these are different ways to make money online in crypto. If you guys like that, I can make a part 2, and then I can go into more in depth and actually change the screen to those. If you guys like that, let me know in the comment below. You already know about the other stuff. I'm not begging anybody to join this. If you want to, you do it. If you drop a like, you do it, whatever, right? So with that being said, let me know. Definitely join our Discord. We're growing this family. My goal is to get us 2,000 strong by the end of August. Now we got, I think, 30 or 40 people now, and it's just been actually it's been an influx. I had to actually remove some people because I realized they just were not active. So if you're not active for like 4 months or something like that, and then obviously not paying and stuff, you have to be removed. And I give the person so much room. I even let these people stay in there an extra 2 months beyond the time. Then I just had to remove them. It hurt me to remove the people because they were very active at one point. One person I'm worried about, to be honest, I don't know what, if something's concerned. Many of us are concerned about her. But With that being said, we're looking to grow up. It's either between 30, it's like between 30 and 40. So that means we need an extra 1,969 or 970 more people to come in to join this family. And I've had other groups. I got Telegram groups. One group's got 50, another group's got 52, another group's got these. But the Discord is just the easiest way to disseminate the information, and I prefer that. So definitely let me know. I'll catch you guys on the flip side, and peace out until later. Let me know if you really like this, and if you don't like it, let me know why. We had a guy that was talking about that VeChain was a fraud on one of the videos, and he's an XRP guy. And I was pointing out that many of the people in XRP's board are actually bankers, and we all know, well, most of us here in the crypto space know that bankers are some of the biggest fraudsters. So I said, hey, if you're looking at it like that and XRP values non-privacy, I think we should be more concerned about privacy. There are plenty of fraud companies like Disney that trade on the stock market where they lied about their financials, and they're still there. They got literal Ponzi schemes that do that. I don't think that VeChain is a fraud because his reasons were the saying that they were not actual partnerships. Now, news articles and the actual what the company says are two different things. And I know this is an extra at the end if you made it this far. For example, one article said that Tonve said that Bitcoin is quote unquote not going to go over break 10,000 this year and stay over it. He actually did not say that. He said it would not have a certain amount of days, if I'm not mistaken. I think he said 60 days, or it's going to be less days over 10,000 than it is under 10,000. So one of those two, that's a very big distinction than rather than saying, or maybe it was 50 days. But once again, I don't want to misquote them. But we got news articles from some of these big crypto news ones. They're just disseminating inaccurate information and slightly misquoted things for their agenda, the same way that mainstream news corporations, and some of these are owned by them, and they're just marketed off as independent, but they're actually funded and owned as a subsidiary of these big corporations. So you have to pay attention to those things too. With that context. So an article could say, this is a partnership, but like what Cardano has even said, there's a thing called memorandum of understanding. Saying a memorandum of understanding isn't necessarily a partnership. So maybe on, from what I've seen, maybe a VeChain would not say that something is a partnership, but an article would. So just giving you guys that context. Just keep that in mind, because some people are just out here to say anything, and they get misled, and it's not that guy's fault. He got misled. So or maybe I'm wrong. Somebody else tell me in the comments below. If you want to join us, talk to you later. Bye.